Image scanning and image duplication technologies have gone a long way since their first commercial inceptions. Take a look at the flatbed scanner, for example. Even in the 90s, a lot of us remember these large, bulky objects that would sat in the corner of your desk. They'd run off a parallel port, they would run off maybe a SCSI port, and their resolution wasn't all that great. They maybe didn't have the best of colors, but they were quite expensive. Look where we are now, just 20 years later. One example I have is this Canon flatbed scanner right here. This device right here is powered over USB. It has far better resolution. It has a far better color depth. Overall, it's just a far better product, and of course, it's cheaper. Now, miniaturization happens in just about everything. So when you get scanning technologies that are this small, you end up with the ability to put a scanner on top of a printer, and then bam, there is the modern all-in-one printer. So what we're looking at right here is not an all-in-one printer at all. Photocopying technology has also miniaturized a lot over the years. And we know brands like Minolta, Konica, and of course Xerox. So what we're looking at here is a product from Canon from, I believe, the late 80s, early 90s. This is the PC-3. This is not an all-in-one printer at all. This is not an electronic photocopier. This is an optomechanical photocopier with a lot of its features stripped out to make it as small and compact as possible. And you get this burgundy and cream two-tone device, which is so light now, it comes with a carrying handle so you can actually carry it with you. And what I'm going to do now is demonstrate it to you by plugging it in. And while it's warming up here and giving off a ridiculous amount of ozone, what's happening here is that, again, it's the photosensitive transfer process with toner. And that's all happening here. Sheet goes in one side, sheet comes out the other. And I have a green light on the front of the unit now. So let's take, for example here, a document that I want to have duplicated just so I have a backup copy. So I lift up the front here. And notice that on the sides I have these indicators for the minimum size, an A4 sheet of paper and a letter sheet of paper. It wants me to do it from the middle, not from one of the corners like you usually expect from a flatbed scanner or something like that. I'll close the lid, and then we'll take a fresh sheet of paper because there's no paper tray in this here. And usually what happens is that the image scan is that the photo scanning head will go side to side with the light inside of the photocopier, giving you that traditional photocopier effect. Instead, we have a fixed head in here, and it's fixed over the drum, which is rotating and transferring the toner to the paper. So how exactly am I still getting the whole side of the page? Well, that's easy enough. And if you already know what this is, shut up, hold on. I'm going to take a sheet of paper here. And, okay, I think we've seen this before with the laser writer as well. We're having some serious printing problems here. I'm seeing smears that are repeating constantly here, but I can actually still see the image underneath it. So I know the drum itself is still photosensitive, but it's obviously very dirty. So before we can really use this thing for anything practical, because this thing is just so filthy, like there's black material all over it. It's not toner. I'm not sure what it is. Let's just pull this thing apart a little bit and give it a good cleaning. I can also see here that the toner cartridge is also getting in yellow towards the red, so it's also an old toner cartridge as well. So let's take a look at that there. So I'm going to unplug the unit because it is still giving off quite a bit of ozone. And I'll unplug it, and now it's extremely hot, and let's start at it. So I am going to take that out, and is there a way for me to release this? I do not see a way to release it, but I do see how to make copies, blah, blah, blah. We've already gone over this. Replacing the cartridge, slide the copy board all the way to the left as it is so that the something mark on the copy board cover is aligned with the I'm not seeing a mark there, but okay, we're going to say that's the triangle right over here. Gently lift up the lever and raise the top cover. Now this is the image pickup head right here. I don't see a sheet of glass in here, but I do see dirt, so that's already dirty. And I'm just going to pull this up, and that opens up to the inside. So you can't see it here right now, but I'm seeing around the corona wire, there's this reddish dust. And like it's on my finger right now. And well, I know that's not toner because first off, I can do this and not worry too much about my shirt. Second off, black and white toner is black. So where the hell is this coming from? It almost looks like rust, but it's definitely coming from somewhere. So I'm going to pull the toner cartridge out, which is just that. And there goes our cartridge. And this is the Canon A15 cartridge. It's worth pointing out you can still buy these cartridges, either remanufactured or new. And Canon is really good with all of their print engines regarding toner cartridges and compatibility. So I'm really quite happy with that. But the corona wire is definitely caked with a sort of brownish dust. So I'm going to take a bit of time here to clean that up. And where is the fuser service port on it? High temperatures. Well, we're getting close somewhere over here. So what do we got on this side? I see a release lever. There we go. And there's our cleaning duct. And that comes out. Oh, that's pretty dirty as well. Okay, and our fuser looks to be in good shape. Very hot, but the fusing surface is also very soft, which is also good. There are rollers in here I can see, and they aren't sticky at all either, so that's pretty cool. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all the toner dust and that red dust that's in here. Now, we're not going to do that inside at all. That's a bad idea. What we're going to do is we're going to go outside and we're going to use compressed air, not with a regulator on the air nozzle, so we aren't blasting components away. Remember, the corona wire is very fragile. And let's do a wipe down. And after we do that, let's see what happens to the copier again. All right, well, we've gone with the compressed air and we've blasted that out of there. So let's do some quick preventive maintenance with the cartridge here. Now, all toner cartridges will have a little warning indicator here saying that if white stripes appear on the copier, turn the cartridge several times. And it's just basically showing someone spinning the cartridge over. And we'll do it over the cartridge and over the copier in case it actually starts to leak. And really all we're doing here is just moving the toner that remains inside of the cartridge. There we go. And so what I'll do now is we will reload the cartridge, and well, it's unlikely that it's going to be completely clean. We saw those repeating patterns. It could very well still be the cartridge, but let's just see what blasting it out with air does first. That just goes in there. And that's part of the reason why this photocopier is so compact and small, because everything is contained within the cartridge there as a consumable item. There's really all you have to do is just supply it with gearing to operate, and that's all there is to it. So I will plug this in, center it, turn it on. Will it explode? Didn't appear to explode. It's warming up now. That green LED is blinking again, and it's going to go solid when it's ready. And I think it's ready. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab the same document, put it there. We're going to grab our same piece of paper, and we're going to use the flip side because we are very economic and like to reuse paper. And in it goes. Okay, so nothing's really happened, unfortunately. It's the exact same as the other side. So what this means here is that we're going to have to see if we can do a little bit of maintenance on the cartridge. Now doing that, unfortunately, we can't just go outside and blast it out with compressed air because, unfortunately, the photosensitive drum can be destroyed by direct sunlight. That's the reason why it works, is because you're basically giving it light, which makes it, I have to think about this again, I may probably have this wrong. Light strikes the surface, makes those surfaces there, have the toner stick to it, presses against the paper, toner transfers, then goes to the fuser to keep it permanently stuck to the paper. All right, so I'm going to turn the unit off again. I'm going to pull out that toner cartridge again, very carefully. And from a darkened area, we're going to try and see if we can clean the drum a little bit. Mainly, we're just going to wipe it down and blast it with more compressed air. Be right back. Where did I put that coat? Okay, so here we are right now. We are inside of our workshop, and I've gone and I've blocked off the windows here. I've removed the light bulb that was directly above me, but I'm still keeping a light bulb on simply because we need you to see what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is really not one of the smartest things to do, and that is try and service a toner cartridge on my own in a dirty workshop like this. It's a bad idea. We can be dealing right now with perished foam, bad wiper blades, and of course just amazing amounts of black toner that could leak out and get everywhere. So I'm not even going to be wearing good clothes right now. But I do have with me a brush which I'll use to brush my hands off because I can't wipe my hands, I can't use water to get it off my hands. I have some shop towel because we're going to try and wipe down the drum. And of course I have my air compressor line, which I have currently reduced right now to a lower pressure using a regulator so we don't make a giant cloud of black toner, which is going to make us a giant mess. Now, down here on the table is the cartridge itself. And I'm going to start off here by, in the shadows, flipping it over. There is a foam strip here, which I can tell is sticky, so this is bad. Let's see if we can carefully pull this off, because if I wipe this, it's just going to make a mess. You know what? It's just making a mess as it is. Just want to roll it. There we go. And then I can just throw it on the floor here and sweep it away. Alright. And a little bit of compressed air here. Always blow away from you. And now, in the shadow here, unfortunately, I'm going to take a look at the drum. And it is dirty. I should be seeing a red drum here, and I am not, so I'm going to... Can I rotate this drum while it's in here? I can. I don't know which way is for the wiper and which one is away. Okay, that might be it there. So I'm just going to grab some paper towel, because if I blow this off, it's just going to make a complete bloody mess. I'm just going to wipe. And on the edge here, rotate the drum, wipe, rotate the drum, wipe, compressed air. And it is spring loaded, so it will attempt to reset itself. You can also do this at night outside. I guess you could then blast it with compressed air. And I've already got toner on my hands, hooray. It looks like I have. what I'm doing right now, if there's any like excess toner that's hiding away in the sides of the drum, I think I can safely Okay, well, let's give it a good blast all around. Again, there's toner on my hands now, so I don't want to rub it off. I just want to go with the brush and blast it off. Because again, this stuff activates with heat, so even just rubbing your hands on your pants, that's enough to fuse it. Plus it'll transfer to your pants as well. Okay, so pick the cartridge up. Blast of air. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, see, on my arm, and there, I see it leaking out now. What I'm being very careful to do here, put it right side up. I want to keep it as clean as possible, so with me as well. And then we'll do one more rotation just to make sure the drum is cleared. Rotate again. And that should be it. Okay, so we will now go with our toner cartridge here and put it back into the machine and see if doing a little wipe down and cleaning there gave us a little bit more life out of this cartridge, or if it's just simply too far gone. Okay, alright, so we are back in here again. I've done what I can to try and clean the toner cartridge. In the meantime, I also did spend a little bit of time wiping down the unit itself just to clean it up a little bit because it was a little bit grungy and a bit nasty and the plating was a little bit dirty. So now that that's done, I'm going to take the toner cartridge here and we're going to open the unit up and we are going to try and see if this cleaned cartridge works at all. So that opens, the cartridge slides in there. I'm not seeing any toner falling out, so I did clean it good enough. And like that, press down like that. All right, and we are ready to plug her in and let her go. Now we have already gone and used that one sheet of paper twice, so I'm gonna have to go and grab another piece of paper. Thankfully, our good old HP LaserJet 4M Plus is right behind me with a lot of paper. So I just open up the tray here, close it, ta-da, clean sheet of paper. And should be about warm. So again, piece goes in there, closed. Make sure my paper adjustment's properly set. It is not. Okay, and fingers crossed, here we go. Okay, that did about what I expected to do, and that is it made it absolutely worse. So now we have gone from this to that, I can't see any toner on this, but it is still trying to print, and it's definitely much cleaner. Let's do one more pass. Maybe it's just there's not enough on the drum. Still no good. However, I'm starting to notice I'm getting this excess toner here on the edge. So something tells me that we do have toner now where it shouldn't be. One last pass and we're going to have to call it quits on this one. No, it's really not getting much better on this here. So unfortunately, it looks like, as we might have expected by doing with the toner cartridge, it's toast. But again, we've also run into stuff like there was bad foam in there, and it was all sorts of nastiness. The toner cartridge itself is clearly giving the indication on the window here that it's getting old and needs to be replaced. So we tried, it didn't work. Oh well. Anyways, this here is the Canon PC-3. This is a personal copier. You can carry it around. I guess you could use it for photocopying at a remote location if you have a small desk, or if just you're on a budget and really you have multiple people who want to use a photocopier, but there's, not enough money to go around for more than one photocopier. So here you go, a low-cost unit. You can still get cartridges for it. You can't really do any maintenance to the original cartridge in it, so you're going to have to replace that. But otherwise, it's a very nice unit. Burgundy, cream, two-tone, fantastic. I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed trying to fix this unit. Even though I was unsuccessful, I hope you were satisfied. Till next time.